So everyone has seemed to really enjoy my Abbey Road video, and I absolutely loved that album. Thank you to everyone who watched that video. It's easily becoming one of my most viewed videos out there, and it just keeps going. So thank you all. Massive thank you to everyone who's clicked on that. If you haven't already checked that out, it's down in the description. But today, as promised in that video, I'm going to listen to Rubber Soul for the first time. It's obviously by the Beatles. It came out in 1965. I think it was their 5th album. And of course, before, I'm just going to kind of read the editor's notes, look at the songs. This is actually an album where I don't think I know any of the songs from it. Now, I could be wrong. I could start listening to a song and be like, oh yeah, I know that one. But for right now, I don't think I know any of them. Okay, the editor's note is really long. It's like 4 paragraphs at least. It could be even more if you split them up. So I'm just gonna read it on my own. I'll be back in like a minute or so. Oh wow, this is really interesting. It says the 3rd paragraph I think is the most important. I'll of course screenshot that and throw that up on the screen. But it says, whatever the case, Rubber Soul's a deeply funny album, the gender play, and it goes on to name a bunch of the songs. But what really kind of struck me here was, this is how the album unfolds. Colorful, dreamy, and delirious on the surface, with shadows swimming underneath. Now that excites me, and just like last time, I'm going to be listening to it through Apple Music, just through my AirPods. I feel like just saying that just because I feel like people want to know. You know, I'm sadly not listening to it on vinyl or CD or anything like that. I don't have a vinyl player yet, although after I've listened to Abbey Road like a ton of times, like at least 10 times on its own, as well as a bunch of the songs like Oh Darling, still my favorite Beatles song, Something, right behind it. There's a bunch of, I mean, you can go check out my video to see which ones I really loved, which was basically all of them. But I am really excited for this, so without further ado, I'll be back in 39 minutes or so. Well, folks, they did it again, and I feel like I'll be saying that about every single one of the Beatles albums almost. I'm not going to talk about every single one of them. There's a few like Yellow Submarine, which I'm like, I'll probably skip this, or at least skip doing a video on it. I'll probably listen to it, but I'm just going to leave that alone. But I do want to do videos like this for almost every single one of the Beatles albums, because I know a bunch of their songs, but there are a bunch, like on this one, as I said, which I didn't really know. I was listening to some, and I like recognize parts of the songs, but I'll of course talk about that. Let's jump into the set list. As always, here we are, of course, Apple Music, because that's what I use, and I always like to just go through the set list after I've listened to the album and share my thoughts on every single one of the tracks, like, individually, because I think it's just kind of more important and really dives in. And now, again, remember, I've listened to this album once all the way through. I've heard all the songs just once. There were a bunch I wanted to, well, almost all of them, go back and listen to again, but I was like, no, just have to listen to it once, and then I'll go into it. So let's start off. The album starts off with Drive My Car, which, like, when you look at the length of all these songs, they're all pretty short. Most of them are under 3 minutes, except for one of them. The only one is You Won't See Me. That's the only one. And Drive My Car was really fun. I really love the backing vocals. I mean, it's one of the most popular, obviously, because it has this little star, but it was really awesome. And like the beep beep in the back was cool. Norwegian Wood, This Bird Has Flown was really short. It was like a short and sweet song. It was like, it seemed so simple, yet I feel like there was so much that really went into the song. I really loved it. If I'm being completely honest, I loved every single song in this album except one, but even that one song I really enjoyed. I still liked Abbey Road more, but I still really love this album. It's a near masterpiece. And then You Won't See Me, just, oh my god, like, looking at these songs, I just don't understand how every single one of them is so good, and they did all these albums in such a short period of time. Nowhere Man really stood out to me here. Think for Yourself, it just kept going, getting better and better. The Word is, I mean, like, just looking at all these, I know I'm not like being super specific about them all, but there's just something, it said this in the editor notes here, but the songs fit on the album really well. They all fit together really well, but I feel like every single song on this album could also be played individually on a playlist. You hit shuffle, you could listen to all these in a different order, and it wouldn't really affect it. It's not like Abbey Road, which obviously has a medley, which I find really interesting. And then Michelle was probably my second favorite here. When I was listening to it, I did recognize a little bit like the Michelle, like Ma Belle, like that. I recognized that, and I was like, oh, this song is so sweet. And it's one of those where when I listen to it, I just kind of just, like, I was laying in bed, of course, and I just kind of lean back or like go down like this even more, and I'm just like, oh, this is music at its finest. What goes on? Oh, like, just, I know I keep having the same reaction, but it's really cool. Girl was so beautiful. Such a beautiful song. Like, they have so many songs that kind of like rock pretty hard, like Twist and Shout. I mean, everyone knows that. And that's like one of those songs that when I think of like a song and I automatically associate it with the movie, comment that movie down below because I feel like you all know it. I'd hope so. I'm looking through you, just every single song on here basically was amazing. And then my favorite was In My Life. I think this is the most popular song on the album, although I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure. This was my favorite. When I was listening to it, within the first few lines, I just closed my eyes, leaned my head back, and just listened like this. And I just kept my eyes closed. And I was enjoying it so much. I was sitting like, I have this light on, but if you watch some of my other videos where I don't have that light on, it's just the LED lights, and just sitting back, listening to it like that. It's just beautiful. Probably out of the two Beatles albums I've listened to all the way through, if I were to rank the songs combined of those two, it would be my top 3. Oh Darling Something, In My Life. Just so beautiful. Wait. Also, I wasn't sure if this one was on that album because I did actually recognize that. If I Needed Someone, again, such a beautiful song. And then Run For Your Life was like the Maxwell Silver Hammer of Rubber Soul. It was really fun. Did the album fully need it? I don't mind that it's on it. I think it's a really good song. Like if most artists, I'm not gonna be there. If most artists today, there are a lot of bands out there that if they released a song like "Run for Your Life," it's like that would probably be one of their best songs. And again, they took that thing of like taking a crime and making it really funny. Admittedly, my humor is a little messed up, so listening to that, I was laughing a little bit. And same with some of the other songs here. They mentioned a little bit of the comedy, and you could tell in this song the lyrics are absurd and it's kind of weird, but it's funny. And Rubber Soul was a phenomenal album. Another album that I'm going to give a 4.5 out of 5 to, but again, I can easily see this jumping up to a 5 out of 5 in the future. Like when I listen to Abbey Road again, I'm just like, oh, like it's just so close. I feel like over time it will. Again, I'm gonna do this with all the Beatles albums. I know a lot of people are like start from the beginning and then go through, but it's kind of fun to go through the order. But we'll see what I think of next week. And I feel like I'm actually gonna do these during the week too. It was like Sunday was my day to do these videos, but I really enjoy them. And just the Beatles, their music has just been stuck in my head recently. I really love them, but a lot of people in my last video love to tell me facts about the songs, all that, and I read all my comments. I love hearing about that. That's something where like I didn't want to fully look these up because I'm like, what do people know? Like, what's the actual real thing? What do people who are watching my video know? You can tell me the story of every single song in this album if you like. What are your favorite songs too? Is your favorite In My Life? What are your top 3, top 5? You could rank the entire album. I don't mind. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Over and out.